Well, welcome to Florida. The little neighbor dog. Hey, buddy. Oh, I know. I see you. I see you. So, hey. Morning. Morning, Dave. Okay, so, obviously one of my other hobbies is RC car stuff. And so this week we did a couple of things. I have for those of you that are familiar, I have a Wraith 1.9, which is a 10th scale rock crawler, and I've got the Proline Hyrax tires on it, and I really like them. And these are in the bigger, 4.35 inch size or whatever. This is fun. This is a fun truck. I got links on it, and Hobby Wing made some carbon fiber stuff for it when we were in Colorado. I did that myself. Anyway, this is fun. This is like my dedicated crawler thing. Not really scale or anything, just fun. And then this one is my 10th scale Jeep, and I built this from a kit, all in pieces, and obviously tried to make it kind of look like my real Jeep. And this one has 4.19, the competition style 1.9 tires on it, so they're a little bit smaller than these. They're the same rim size, but a little bit smaller in diameter, a little bit more scale. And so I had these cheap Amazon tires on it before, so I replaced them with Proline Hyraxes because they're my favorite so far. And yeah, so I haven't gotten to run it lately because it's been raining and gross, and we've been in like jungle only conditions. But anyway, yeah, I'm stoked to give this thing a run. We got some proper good sticky tires on it. So here's some fun stuff for the day. Made some humbuckers. Those are pretty killer. We don't do these clear ones very often anymore because they're super limited. I can barely get them. But they're super fun. It's kind of cool. These 3 humbuckers are not going in the same guitar, but they are going to the same customer, so that's cool. I've got this pickguard that I'm about to build up for the white Strat with Fender lifeless pickups in it. So I made a set of pickups for it yesterday, so here they are. And pickup covers and screws and pots. And for some reason I'm out of 5-way switches, so that's a bit annoying, so we'll have to wait for those to come in. And I'll show you a couple of tricks about it. Okay, so a couple tips. When you're putting together a loaded pickguard, this is just one that we build and sell and put on our website. We'll leave a link to it. When you're putting together a loaded pickguard, you can just buy a set of pickups. Oh, well, you can order a loaded pickguard from us. Or if you buy a set of pickups from me, I always put 12 inches of wire on every pickup. Obviously, you don't need that many. So while you're at it, if you buy a set of pickups, while you're at it, go ahead and replace all your pots and your switch and everything, and there will be enough wire here to rewire your whole pickguard, because you won't need, all 12 inches on all 3 pickups. So you can just cut the wire off of these and use that to go in between all your pots and stuff, and it'll end up being more or less, free. You won't have to buy extra wire, because I know a lot of people would order like extra wire and stuff. The other thing is that my favorite way to spring pickups is I actually don't like the little coil springs. So I order, and I'll try to find it on Amazon and leave a link to it. But I think this is just, I want to say this is like a 1/4 inch with 1/8 inch center rubber tubing, like a big tube of it. And then you just cut it off with a pair of side cutters at about a 1/4 inch. And use that as springs. And that way they don't bounce in there, because sometimes the springs will let the pickups move around too much, and I don't like to. The strings are supposed to move, and that's it. Like, I don't like other pieces to move. So tubing works better. So that's why I use it. So a couple of tips for that. Okay, so let's chat P90s, because I'm making a Tele bridge size P90-ish thing, but we're going to talk about the architecture of P90s and why they're all different and how they're all different and what you can expect when you order a Strat or a Tele version versus a regular one versus a humbucker one, because they are not the same. People call them Strat size P90s, Tele size P90s, humbucker size P90s, but they're not all the same. So let me show you, break this down a little bit. Okay, so here is a regular size P90 bobbin. This is normal. This is what a regular dog ear or soap bar P90 comes in. Now I just want to point your attention to a couple of dimensions here. I believe it's 1/4 of an inch in width. These are base bobbins. Those aren't even in the conversation. I'm making some P-based bobbins for a customer today. So 1/4 inch tall. But the trick here with a P90 is actually the width of the coil and actually the length of it. So if you look at it in comparison to a humbucker, obviously it's longer. So when you put, but the center part stays the same. So when you try to put a P90 in a humbucker, you have to actually kind of like clip off the ends of the bobbin. So you physically can't fit enough wire in there. Now some people are going to get in the comments and be like, yeah, well, I bought Guitar Fetish or I bought whoever and they sound amazing in there. Okay, maybe they might sound fine, but what I'm telling you is they're not the same, because 42 gauge wire with 10,000 winds on a conventional P90 will not fit in a humbucker opening. So I don't care what you say, they're not the same. And what typically happens is that when people try to fit it into a humbucker, they'll either change the magnet or they'll change the wire gauge. 99% of the time, if I look at some of those other brands, they've went from 42 to 43 gauge wire when putting it into a humbucker size, which in my opinion completely changes the dynamic of a P90, because, well, it changes the frequency response. It changes the overall, you're going to lose highs for sure. It's not going to have that good mid-range punch that you normally have for the regular P90. So squishing it into a humbucker, you can get close, but I don't actually consider them to be the same pickup. I consider them to be two different pickups for two different sounds. They are not interchangeable terms. Same thing with a Telecaster or a Stratocaster size P90, which is basically the same thing, just with different flatwork material. So if you look at the size difference here, you'll see that this is actually kind of closer. These are actually, you can put a lot of wire on a P90 or on a P90 size Tele, but it still is not the same, because the magnets are different. Because a humbucker you have two humbucker magnets on a regular size P90. Those will not fit on here, so you have to use, of course I've got broken ones here to show you, so it's not exactly right, but you have to use these smaller ceramics, and they're, I mean, obviously it's longer, it's broken, but so you have two ceramics which are obviously a completely different magnet. So while we can get super awesome tones and gnarly Tele tones, more P90-ish out of this, it is not the same as this. These are not interchangeable terms as much as everybody wants to think they are. They're three completely different pickups. Now, are you going to get more P90-ish tones out of this than you will out of a regular Tele pickup? Yup, absolutely. Will you get more P90-ish tones out of this than a regular humbucker? Yeah, but it's not going to be the same. This is the real dude. Alright, so not super exciting today, but more air conditioner stuff. If you all follow the channel, you know that last week my blower motor went out in this air conditioner, and now of course we're in Florida and it's 81 degrees and hot and sunny and humid, and of course I need it. So let me tell you what's been going on. So I replaced this blower motor, and that's awesome. And when I replaced it, this squirrel cage fan cracked, so I had to order one of those and get that shipped in. And now what we've got is there's a bunch of condensation in there. Humidity is really high here, and there's a bunch of condensation in there, and so the coils are freezing up. So I've just got to figure out what the airflow situation is. And then I think also on this side, we got to clean all these vents out and stuff, otherwise water will just build up in there and the condensation will drip down into the air conditioner, or down into the motorhome. So we can't have that. So that's what I'm dealing with today. I already made some pickups, and we got a live tonight, so there is that. Busy day. All right, so there's your Tele size P90. Screws in it, magnets glued on the bottom, drop right into a Telecaster. And these bobbins are a little different because the holes are a little smaller, because the screws thread into there instead of having a base plate to thread into like a normal Tele pickup. But that's the dude. Just got to wax pot it and engrave the top and get it off to the customer. Well, we just got done with the live hangout on Thursday, the whole thing we do at 5 p.m. So that's it. Thanks for hanging out on this vlog. I really love doing these, and it's fun because it's a more fun way for me to get some of this content out, because I don't always prepare it. You know, I'll be working on something like these P90 things. We'll be working on something and I'll just be like, oh, you know what? I need to share this really quick, instead of blowing up a whole video for it, which sometimes it doesn't need a whole video. So it's just kind of fun. Now the whole video ones, obviously all that tech stuff comes out on Tuesday, live video on Thursday, and this thing on Friday. Also, look for over the next few weeks, you're gonna see, so look out for them, some videos coming out on random days, and they're gonna be pickup demos, because I need to update all of my pickup demos for my website. So that is happening right now. I'm making that stuff. So just keep an eye out for those as they come out. Check the Patreon thing, the membership thing right down here in the corner, and new content. Fourth Sunday of this month, we're gonna have another Patreon workshop, so check that out, and we'll see you on Tuesday.